Good morning, everybody. A little bit of a late start here. I was having a moment of silence for America on the news of the Inflation Reduction Act. What a ludicrous thing that's going on in this country. Well, beyond what we can change. So let's see what happens when the House comes. But only a country, I guess, can get out of inflation by spending more and printing more. Well, we'll see what happens. All right, markets here acting bullishly. They were coming in here at the moment. You can see the futures selling off here from the highs. So a little hesitancy in front of the open, and we're even getting close to that 4,200 number and this area of resistance over there to the left. But the price action here continues to be bullish. Well, last week was a narrow range day, so prices really didn't go anywhere. They just jiggled up and down, but did get rejected from the lows when they dipped down there and came back up. Was pretty wild on Friday with that whipped up and down price action that occurred. And it's kind of like been the norm, give and take. But here, was that run up and that creating the void and opened it up back down and we are back up and coming back off of the highs here. So it's pretty erratic price action, which isn't unusual as prices reach some resistance and buyers and sellers try and battle it out to see whether supply is going to overcome demand at this point or whether it can push higher into the next void above until we get a decisive break, at least below a prior bar's low, or a deep retracement, which could be today closing toward the low of this wide range bottoming tail bar here. And we'll see what happens. So far, if you were to look at this on a closing basis, it's just going sideways at the top of this bullish bar. And that bottoming tail is bullish price action since buyers stepped up on the dip, even though it was dip, and ripped it right back up to the highs. Oh, again, we'll see where this goes. So far, at resistance, bullish price action, neutral for the moment. The big number, can it get through 4,200 or does it go back down below 4,100 looking at the futures? SPY, assessing the gap. Well, it was up here gapping up above the highs. Now it's coming off that toward 115. And let me just move this out of the way for a moment. You can see where the line is. Still gapping up above Friday's high and up near this resistance. So could jiggle around there for 15 minutes or so. It could make a move toward 420. So unless it really can break down below 410 decisively, and then the next support is right here, it really doesn't suggest anything big, a big move here today, which of course leads us to SPX. What's going to move the markets here? Well, not any news. So price is gapping up into here and big line in the sand here at just above 4,100 and change. So the upside for a little while ago, I had 41.30 written down, which now 42.30, actually, there's nothing there now. $42.10, $42.15, $42.20 is only 50 by 60. $41.95. You want to go down below? I understand. I don't think it'll get above 4,200 today. 40.85. 41.95. Oh, you want to get that close? All right. Well, you know me, I look for the no-brainers. 41.95. Wow, swinging for the fences there. I think, yeah, I think so, above 4,200. Oh, Jacob is saying, Jacob's the aggressive one. He's he's the one that needs to watch that moving trading day. You want to go home? 4085. Yeah, 4085, 4085. I like that. It's below 4,100 and starting to dip here. So I like that 4085. All right. Anything else moving? We'll get to it, but I saw Bitcoin was bringing up the rear a little bit. And it came down pretty hard. I don't know what happened there. If there was any news, I wasn't watching, but oh, NVIDIA. Oh, they come out before the bell. All right. So there's a little negativity there. Semiconductors, which have been the leader. That's opening up there in the middle of the range, not really going anywhere. So not super bullish or bearish. It's neutral. So that doesn't tell us anything, but that could set the tone for the day. Now, interesting, the Dow is right at this pivot high. It's right there, right at that pivot high. And this has been lagging. And financials were strong on Friday. And, they don't, not like they looked, as you look at the ETF, not like it looks like anything special. But, some of them, intraday, they looked like something more, but really not excite me either. Just looking at what might lead and what might, up or down. But this came down hard. These institutions are all selling everything and buying everything together, of course, to varying degrees. But this now has cleared the high and looks closest to the ability to get up to the May high now that it's up above there, which is encouraging, from the bullet. You want to make a bullish case, even though the markets are at these resistance areas that small caps are beginning to lead. But, with interest rates that had this reversal last week, they have to be a drag on tech, and tech is what's led the way. So if interest rates are going to start moving back up, they get it back up above this 310 area. Well, tech's got to be going down, and markets aren't going to be going up, if tech is beginning to fail. So we're at a turning point, a probable turning point, but it hasn't actually made the turn yet. So that does make for a choppy environment. Just keep that in mind. May take a few days, and Wednesday is the big inflation number day. So that's the 10-year, and that's the 30-year. So the 30-year moves slower than the others. Let's take a look at our internals, which all of a sudden the call buyers are stepping up, and this is just inching up into this area. So, the market's backed off a little bit. You can see a few minutes ago, but if they come back up on Wednesday, there's inflation data, Joe. Oh, what inflation? Well, we're going to make a measure of how much inflation there really is, and that'll be a fairy tale, I guess, since it's a government number. So what we want to watch for here is everything coming together, where we have this pickup in call buying. This number is starting to inch down a little bit as things went up. Breadth has been terrible, but it's been going sideways. So that's pretty normal day to day. This is the day-to-day breadth number. So that's backing off from the extreme that it already reached, still above 100. Now, even if the market goes down, this put call number could go up. Of course, if it went up, it would come down more. And this would then flip up into these bands. But even more bearishly would be if the market started inching down and the call buying increased, and this reached an extreme. And, so in addition, you want to keep an eye on that and keep an eye on, I mentioned a week ago, the VIX, that below this 20 number, this year has been turning points in the market. Now, in a bullish market environment, which this one has only been bullish for a short amount of time, a month or so, overall, all year it's been bear market. This could stay below 20 and go down toward 10. But in the current market environment, it's more likely to signal another market high point, and as well as markets reaching resistance and our internals being in alignment. And the more information that we can put together to build our case or bias, the better. All right, Bitcoin inching up here a little bit, and markets didn't care that didn't participate. Excuse me. And that's moving up and at this resistance. So, generally when markets reach a possible turning point, you tend to have to, we look at a lot of different things, to see if they're in alignment every day. But when you're looking for, and you're at this inflection point, but there hasn't been that turn yet, there's a tendency to have to look a lot harder. And sometimes things don't all line up perfectly. So ultimately, prices have to make a turn, and they haven't done that yet in any decisive way. So we just continue to the factory work. Oil coming down some more, so the inflation thing, that is liked, but why is interest rates flipping back up? So again, a little confusion there. Silver is continuing to improve, still in a downtrend. I got above this high here, but you can see what I mean right there at the 50, and gold hanging there. So I think I might just keep an eye on these semiconductors myself today and see how weak they get and see if others are, and look for these for intraday shorts, since they're under pressure. And this is now got news and institutions on the fence here. So at a good spot. And we'll see how that all plays out. Now the transports, we always look at, really did well. And so in this case, we have the concept of a greater than 100% retracement. So while they did well, Friday was a wide range bar, relatively wide compared to the last few days. So this is a key bar. It's only one bar, right? So in of itself doesn't mean much. But in the context of having moved from this high, this low, up above this high, and being a range expansion bar, be careful. Well, don't be careful. Be observant whether it breaks below that low. Because if it does, this is an emotional bar. There was strong buying in that bar. So a break below it within the next couple of days would certainly be bearish. So Mike McHugh's telling me silver easily to 100 in 12 months or less. Well, I don't know about that. I think you've been watching too many commercials there, Michael. It ain't going to happen. All right. Me and you, as Dan would put it, me and you got a bet for a rum runner somewhere in South Florida on that bet. All right. But maybe it'll get to 26. I don't know about 100. All yours, Dan.
Did I hear somebody say rum runner?
Yeah. I took your line and made a bet for a rum runner.
You got my attention.
Yeah. You're invited.
All right, so, we said in the letter, Greg just said it, markets look higher, but I don't know how high. I mean, but for this little pre-market collapse here, I was going to say 420 to low 420s. I don't know where. But now with this little NVIDIA hiccup, we'll see what happens. I just posted SMH, the call spread candidate here, rally up, prior high, sell setup of 5 weeks in a row, 30-minute low. I'll be looking for a call spread. DC asking about net put spread and TTD. Net. The problem is it's too extended. And I'm not checking earnings either. The place to have done it would have been on one of these two bars over here. But if you tell me you can do it here at the 20 MA, I'll say fine. But it's not a pattern that we would enter put spread on, because we like to enter near major pivots, near major support, not vertical moves up. Oh, it did. It had earnings on Friday, I remember, because that was one that McGraw sold short puts into. This is a better one. You know, it's still up multiple bars, but it's not as vertically far from the 20 MA, and it did a little bit of more churning. So I like this one better. But also keep in mind, if we're at a turn on the market, that's the mothership. And I don't want to be selling a bunch of put spreads if the broader market's going to be coming in. We do have a number of put spreads open now. We're actually 100% bullish positions in all three letters. And we're just in trail mode. So let's see what I have over here. Tyson, it's actually a gap down on earnings under agreed. This otherwise was a little buy setup from a bottoming pattern, but now it's a shock. So 30-minute low, if this cannot bounce, then call spread idea. QURE, another one, bearish gap down, it's a bio on earnings. Problem is, it's a pretty big gap. USEA, you saw this going by the ticker. Trades very crazily, but it's gapping up from a retest here. 30-minute high could possibly be a home run entry. So let's keep an eye on that. Yeah, gold bottoming pattern here, daily, weekly is a climb-o. So I like that. For some reason, there's not much juice in this thing. And you know, this stupid spending bill. And so I'm actually short puts on this thing. I put it, I'm going to close them into the gap up, bidding 10 cents. I also have puts on run, and then I'm going to do the same thing. Rover, this guy was on TV talking about his dog company. No pattern. URA, yeah, it's a nice little bull flag kind of thing. Yeah, I like it, Thomas. I'll put it on the list. I'm not going to be rushing into any longs whatsoever. The reasons typically don't period on Mondays. I give it a little more room than the other days, just because of the weekend hangover, more orders bouncing around. And secondly, obviously, is this NVIDIA pre-release. Monster. That, I'm assuming this was earnings last week. It's down a little bit more. COD gapping up to 12 bucks. It's a big gap, but look at it weekly. It's coming out of a coma. So let's watch that on a pullback. Same with ILAG. I don't know what the heck an ILAG is, but it's a IPO, broke out on Friday, gapping up, bottoming pattern daily, price void. So that I like as a watch. I'll actually put that in a window. Etsy, that's positive mention in Barron's. Now this is bullish consolidation. This is just, it had a big move, busted through multiple pivots, and it's burning off steam with a price void. So 30-minute high, this looks good too. obviously a, oh, that's Airbus. Let's see. So I was going to say, it's obviously an ADR. Yeah, Airbus. Competitor with old Boeing. Boeing's been on a tear here ever since this breakout. Wow, we actually had a nice directional trade there. And put spread. And GE was the cover of Barron's, but it's gapping up here, but no pattern for me, no interest. Sell set up in the weekly. Elon had earnings. We'll come back to the 30-minute high. Bentex had earnings, 170. So it's a bearish gap, but look at all the support. Look, I love the weekly. I'm gonna put this in my core watch list. Shoot, Bentex. Looks great. So I'm gonna see what happens in the first 30 minutes where buyers want to step up. But McGraw, this could possibly be a put spread idea for us. DG, positive mention Barron's, bullish daily, weekly, monthly. This could be put spread too. We'll leave it, come back in 30 minutes. So I really don't have any tier ones here right now. Need to watch at the open. THS, breaking down, no pattern. ENR, I think, had earnings. Now this is a tier one. If it opens flat and then takes out last week's high. Nice bottoming pattern with a price void, but I can't tell where it's gapping. And it had earnings. Cool. For, you know, it's far from the 20, but holding. I do like it as a possible bottoming pattern also. So yeah, put it on the list. But again, I'm not rushing into any longs here with the NVIDIA scare. Rita here, gapping down to 28. That's an ugly gap. That's I'm pretty sure a bio. That could be a call spread if it can't bounce. And GDRX I posted, bottoming pattern over yesterday's high. I mean Friday. But it's gapping up over it, so I'm going to tell them to hold off. I don't want to chase. Oh, Greg, you know, I sent you that political cartoon, and it was just so freaking accurate about that spending bill. This guy walks into the office. It says Office of Brazen Misnomers. And he says, Martha, you really outdid yourself on this one. Oh, that was so perfect, beautiful. You really outdid yourself this time. Costs. I think these are all my earnings things. 30-minute high, maybe. Gapping up. This is what we call an end of day base. Had a bear gap down negated on Friday. 30-minute power move. Bullish consolidation. The upper part of the day's range. That looks good. Yeah, I don't like the way this trades, all the overlapping bars, but it isn't a strong uptrend. Clovis was up, now down. Big mess. CMRX, bottoming pattern, gapping up. We'll come back, maybe 30-minute high. BTRS gapping up to 10, bottoming pattern. Yeah, 30-minute high, not bad. Rohit is asking me what time do I wake up to trade the markets? Those are two separate questions, Rohit. I wake up at 6, do my morning routine, preparation, read the newspaper. I don't trade until 9:30 as a general rule, unless I specifically say I'm doing something pre-market. Bottoming pattern, gapping up, 48, but the resistance will come back to you. uptrend, light volume though. You know, bullish daily, weekly, monthly. ENR, that's the one I said I couldn't see any gap, but I like the daily. That's one will come out too low volume. Shoot, 54,000. AMR up, but no pattern. You're gone. All right, PNC alarm. Wow, tick 1350. Wow. All right. Oh, this Mindy, it's way excessive right now. But McGraw, do you know what I'm gonna say? But look at this beautiful bottoming pattern on the weekly.